yet trying not to do too much in a game that really can sway what direction the season goes?
Yeah, it's really important. We got to take it really just one game at a time. We can't really think too much of, what this could do for the season. We just got to think about this is the next game we're playing, and we got to be ready for this game.
Thanks, Creed.
Joe Bettner with the Norman transcript, and then Ryan Aber.
Creed, with OU Texas, always seems like the more physical team wins, and I'm curious how confident you are in your offensive line to be able to, I guess, bring that physicality to Texas on Saturday.
Yeah, that's definitely the story. Throughout the history of this game, it's always, the more physical team wins, the team who can run the ball better and the team who plays more physical defense. So, I think we're up for the challenge for that. These guys are really excited to get back on that field and improve. And, I'm pretty confident these guys are coming out and play physical.
Let's go to Ryan Aber with the Oklahoman, and then Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Creed, there's so much about this game that's unique and different from any other game in college football. The bus ride in, the walking down the tunnel, things like that. What's your favorite thing about this game that's different, and what are you going to miss about the normal atmosphere on Saturday?
Yeah, I grew up in this rivalry. I've been an OU fan my whole life, so I've been to plenty of these games. The atmosphere is obviously something that's going to be different this year, and that's something that I've enjoyed the most is just how intense the atmosphere is. But as being a player in these games, you start to not really worry about the atmosphere too much, and you start really enjoying just how physical this game is, how intense this game is, how intense this rivalry is on the field. So really we got to put a thing for our team is not to focus, on the atmosphere, because it's going to be different. It's just we got to be ready to come out and, play physical and play with intensity and play to finish.
Appreciate it, Creed.
Okay, Jason Kersey with the Athletic, and then Bob Prisbillo.
Hey, Creed, just how do you assess how the offensive line has played through 3 games? And then also, how do you assess how you yourself have played through 3 games?
Inconsistent. I think we've had our flashes of really good play and then flashes of bad play. We just got to become more consistent. Same with me. I've played inconsistent so far. We got to take that step of playing consistently well, which I think, we definitely have that chance and opportunity to do this week. But it starts in practice, just practicing more consistently, finishing more consistently, things like that. Late in games, playing sharper, playing more physical, playing to finish late in games. We got to do that more consistently. It's just been inconsistent so far. We've had flashes of really good play, then flashes of not so good play, and it's just got to be more consistent.
Thanks, Creed.
Okay, Bob Prisbillo with Sooner Scoop, and then Barry Trammell.
Creed, we've asked you before, but how tough really has it been to develop chemistry because of COVID, because of contact tracing, or is that just looking for an excuse because it doesn't really have any merit at this point?
Yeah, it's been tough to get that chemistry going, but all in all, I think that's really just looking for an excuse. We come to play, we come to do our job, and that's what we need to be doing. We got to do that more at a consistent level.
Okay, Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman, and then Keegan Renaud.
Yeah, Creed, two games in a row, you guys taking the field late in the game with a chance to tie or take the lead. And after 2 good games of offense, you hadn't been able to produce. What do you think's missing on those late drives when you go out and the game on the line?
Just in the fourth quarter, these past 2 games, we haven't played, sharp. We haven't, done our assignments across the board very well. We kind of take our foot off the gas, and that's something that, we've harped on this whole week that we cannot do. It cost us these past 2 games because we haven't played up to our standard on offense late in games. It's come to bite us in the butt. But that's something we're working on right now. That's something we've harped about, and we're doing things in practice to fix that.
Okay, we'll go to Keegan Renaud with Sooners Wire, and then James Hale.
Creed, always topic conversations about first-year quarterbacks in this game. How much are you preparing Spencer just mentally and from a psyche perspective, to be ready for what to what he's going to expect in terms of the intensity and everything that comes with this game.
Yeah, I've talked to him about it. I've told him, this isn't just a normal game. No matter what you want to believe, this game's always going to be more intense, more physical. It's going to be a war for 4 quarters, no matter what. So, he's prepared for it. He's done a good job preparing for it so far, and I think he's up to the task for it for sure.
On Saturday in Ames, he obviously was able to take some hits and then bounce back. Just how impressed were you with him and his ability to kind of handle the adversity in the game in Ames on Saturday?
He's done a good job with it all season. He's done a good job with it. He's a really sharp player, really competitive, keeps his composure really well. He's been very impressive so far.
James Hale with KREF, and then Parker Thune.
Creed, you were a highly recruited player, and Texas always has, highly recruited players on the defensive side of the ball. So you'll be going against guys that, you played against, and that you knew through recruiting and things like that. So I'm curious, what do you think about the Texas defense and some of the guys they have on that side of the ball?
Yeah, they got talented players on that side of the ball. It's going to be a fun game because they're really talented. They have a good scheme, and it's going to be a 4-quarter war. I'm really excited for it. I love games like this. Playing against these really talented guys. So it's exciting to get this chance.
Is it a unique scheme? Is it something you've seen before?
They're really sound with their scheme. I'm not going to say it's anything we haven't seen before, but they're really sound. They're really disciplined, and they do a really good job with it.
Thanks, Creed.
Parker Thune with SI Sooners, and then Kerry Murdoch.
Yeah, Creed, obviously you're one of the more experienced guys on this roster now, but you were also somebody that made your impact as a redshirt freshman initially. So having had that experience, how fun is it for you to see some of those younger guys like Marvin Mims and Seth McGowan making an impact in this offense as early as they are?
It's been awesome, seeing these guys, how talented they are, and, getting to show it on the field. It's been awesome. I'm their biggest fan. So, I love watching them play. They've done a great job up to this point, and I'm excited to see them continue to grow.
Thanks, Creed.
Kerry Murdoch with Sooner Scoop and WWLS, and then Michael Kinney.
Creed, I know in the past, Bill's talked about sometimes penalties come because you just have to have that because of your aggression. You guys just tend to get them, and he can live with that. Is that what's going on this year, or is it just a different type of penalty that's happening for you guys? Is it just something that shouldn't be happening that doesn't have an excuse for it?
Yeah, I'd say it's a mix. There's some that, we're getting penalties because, we're finishing, things like that. And, we might have our hand outside of the frame a little bit, things like that. And there's also some that, it's just we've been straight up lazy in our technique, and it costs us, big plays. So we really got to be able to focus in on, having our technique throughout the game, things like that, and not straying away from it. Trusting the technique, trusting the assignments that we have, trusting what Coach B has taught us. And if we do that, we're going to be in good shape. So
is that, the lazy ones that you're talking about, is that something that you kind of go guy to guy, that you kind of let people know, we can't have that if we want to be the line we want to be?
Yeah, we've talked about it for sure. This group expects a lot out of ourselves. We think we have the chance to be really special, and we have the talent to be really special. It's just, we got to play more consistent. We've talked about it. We've talked about, trusting the technique more, things like that. So, we're looking to get that fixed this weekend.
Thanks, Creed.
And last question will go to Michael Kinney with Sooner Spectator.
Creed, you talked about the atmosphere and getting used to playing without the fans and all the hoopla. At what point, I guess, did you and the rest of the team start to zone that out and just start concentrating on what's happening on the field and not what's happening in the stands?
First game, that's something, we noticed in the first game, but you learn to deal with it. And it didn't really come as too much of a surprise, to have that feeling. But it's something we've dealt with. We've dealt with it good. We don't really care about the atmosphere too much this year. We're focused on doing our job and playing to our standard. And that's what we got to focus on throughout the rest of this year.